You're watching Extras from the Extension on Eagle Community Television. This show is brought to you by Carico Implement.
Hello, I'm Stacy Campbell with K-State Research and Extension of Ellis County. Well, we've had some good growing conditions this summer, but the month of August it's gotten pretty dry. And some of this hay that's just now being put down might have went through some drought stress. And if that's the case, you can always test that hay, that feed for nitrates, because as a plant goes through a stress, such as a drought stress, it can start accumulating nitrates in the stalk of that plant. And if the nitrates get too high and you feed that to cattle, there can be some bad things happen, such as dead cows or aborted calves as well. So if quite a bit of this feed has already been laid down and rolled up, and maybe didn't suffer much from the drought, but if you've got some later planted feed that you're just now putting down into the windrows or about to, might not hurt to get a nitrate test for that feed. While you're doing that, you might as well at least get the protein content on that feed too. You could even get TDN and a few other things if you want, and that could help you figure out how much protein you may or may not need to haul to the cows this winter. Also, another tip is if you haven't laid down this feed and it is drought stressed, if you'll raise up the height of the cutter bar, that can help reduce the amount of nitrates because they accumulate in the lower part of the stalk. So if you can raise that cutter bar up 6, 8, maybe even 10 inches, that can really help potentially to reduce the amount of nitrates if that feed has been stressed. Once it's in the windrow like this, it's pretty easy to take some samples. You'd go around in several places in the field, try to get a good average representative sample of the field. You would take whole plants, a couple in several locations, chop them up into about 1-inch pieces, and then mix them up some into a bucket, and you're going to want to put them into a paper bag, preferably because they'll continue to dry down, and they've got to dry them in the oven anyway when they get them at the lab. Okay, so you can do that. The nitrate test is pretty inexpensive, somewhere between $7 to $14, and then getting protein on top of that's going to be a little bit more money, but pretty inexpensive test. The K-State Soil Testing Lab can test for nitrates and protein, and there are quite a few commercial labs that can also test for nitrates, protein, TDN, and some other things as well. Now, if the feed is already wrapped up into a round bale, but you are a little concerned, maybe it did get stressed for a while before you put it down, most extension offices have some type of hay probe, forage probe that we loan out, that you can take samples from round bales. This one hooks onto a cordless drill. This is a hollow cylinder here. You'll go all the way into the bale. On the round side of the bale, you would sample several bales, dump it into a clean bucket, mix it up, and once again put it into a paper bag and send it off to the lab. So what we have, most extension offices have some type of hay probe for loan out if it's already been wrapped up into the bale, but you need to get a nitrate sample. And also, like I say, you can also get protein and TDN as well. Well, this has been Stacy Campbell with K-State Research and Extension of Ellis County with Eagle Community Television.
You're watching Extras from the Extension on Eagle Community Television. This show is brought to you by Carico Implement.
Spring is here, and that means it's time to come out and visit Carico Implement in Hays, Kansas for all your lawn care needs. We stock and sell the full line of John Deere riding lawn equipment, along with Honda walk-behind mowers and generators. We also offer the full lineup of steel power products. If your project requires even more muscle, check out our full lineup of John Deere compact tractors and skid loaders. And don't forget, we have the parts and services to keep you up and running all spring long. So whatever your spring lawn care and maintenance needs are, come on out to Carico Implement for a solution that fits.